Hi, my name is Josh Kylan. I thought I'd do a update on my 3 model steam engines. Yeah, basically, the last video was for you to see it running. Thought I'd just do a quick update on what gonna be happening to these. Let's start off with this one. This is the number 70. Not much is going to happen to it, but I'm going to remount it on this piece of 1-inch thick gray poly that I got from work. Yep. And you can see the outline. That's basically what I'm going to go for remounting it. Main reason why I'm mounting my Jensen 70 and my Jensen 60 is they like to vibrate. I might mount this one on a bigger piece of poly that's on the floor. But the reason why I'm mounting these two is because this wood, even with the wood, it likes to vibrate. And I have to have a clamp that you could see in the other video. And mounting it on this 1-inch thick poly will help the vibration. Because this base itself is heavy. Also, what I might do is reorientate this with the generator. Because I'm doing a lot more shows, what I think I might do is turn this 180 degrees so that this is pointing outwards. That way I can also see the water gauge, and I would basically move this onto this side of the engine, keeping this orientation, and also rotate I'm just readjusting the camera. Also readjusting this. This is the generator, and I might rotate this so that this is like this. The nut on this is loose, that's why I can swivel it. Or what I might do is remount this on this board and not have it on the generator. I think I'll just leave it on the generator, that way I don't have to deal with wiring. Because this right here acts as one side of the circuit, and there's a wire that goes underneath from this one that's isolated from this base that goes up through the middle of this. That's how this works. Basically, one wire, all you need. This other base acts as the other line of the circuit. Also, when I turn it the other way, people will be able to see the cylinder. I'm just gonna see the cylinder. I'll get probably sprayed by steam condensate, but that's fine by me. My Jensen 70, which is this one, or no, this is the 25. I've been doing a little bit of experiment with these two. I've actually been using all-purpose turbine oil. Sorry if it's backwards, but here's the 25. Yeah, I've been using turbine oil. I think it's probably just fine. To lubricate, let me just rotate this. Rotate all the bearings and a couple of the linkages. I've been using steam cylinder oil for the cylinder for these two. I will be using that for the 60 as well. Yeah, basically that's another thing I was going to do an update on. This is my steam box. instead of using this, I like these little e-cig containers because they're really nice for oil. That's just a piece of poly falling on the carpet. I actually got, my dad had an extra one that I'm using for the turbine oil. Instead of using the oil that is supplied with the Jensen model steam engines. Well, it's already 5.5 minutes, but I needed to do this. So whenever I store my Jensen 25, I keep a rag over the engine, and I also put a old shirt over the whole entire engine. Same thing with this. I use an old towel for this one. This one, not really much. Just help keep the dust off it. Basically, and so far, the one drop of this on each of the bearings is working pretty well. I oil it. I've oiled these. They're all lubricated except for that one. That's been stored for like a year. Alright, yeah, about 9 months. All 3 of these were running last August. I have been not sure if I want to use the Jensen oil on this part or the turbine oil. I think the turbine oil will work just fine. It's been working pretty well. And if I lubricate this crosshead rod right here with the steam cylinder oil, I don't have much water accumulate here. Onto the steam condensate trap. This is working really well. Only thing that I might change, it would kind of work against, but basically drill and tap another hole into here, and basically put a valve on the side of this. That way I don't have to take this off the engine when it's screaming hot and basically dump it upside down. That way I can just drain it right out the bottom, or not totally the bottom, but about here. Just another 1/8 inch pipe and a nipple, then a small valve, and then tubing. And I think that will help a long way with this. That way I can just basically have a large container just on the ground and just leave it open. Just leave it open, or if I notice that it's getting full, just open that valve.
Whatever comes to mind, we can do it.
That way I can just drain it. Overall, this is working pretty well. I'm so glad I made this and not using that old crusty sponge and that. Yeah. This thing gets real hot, or to a point where I have to wear a glove when I'm emptying it, or just lifting the lid. Yep. Now on to the Jensen 60. Sorry. I am totally not used to this camera yet. The Jensen 60 is getting somewhat of an upgrade. This is a butane burner kit. It's from Mini Steam. It's the reference numbers FTBIX026. I will put a link in the description for it. Basically, this is for any small engine. And let me tell you, the reason why I went with this is because I just moved my chair. I don't want to deal with Isbit tablets anymore. They stink, they produce soot. I'm going to have to clean the bottom of this boiler anyways. That's again why I need a piece of poly that I got from work. This is 1 inch gray, same as the other stuff, but this is a lot shorter. The reason why I need the piece of poly is to mount the gas tank. This is a little refillable gas tank. Comes in the kit. I've calculated it out that it burns about ½ hour on one tank, which is not bad. This is the burner, the little square ceramic burner, and it comes with gas line, O-ring on that side, then a number 5 jet. And all you do is simply screw it onto here, and this goes in there. I still need to bend this, so I'm not doing it exactly. And basically, this burner fits pretty well in there. I basically have to go like that.
Stop it!
I saw a piece of plastic. Oh well. Basically slide it in like that, then turn it 90 degrees, and I'm gonna make a space. You can't really see in there. I think my pen light will help. See that space? I'm gonna make a metal spacer that I basically bend around the burner to basically centrally locate this. I'll figure how thick the spacer needs to be once I take the boiler off and have a chance. That's another thing that helps. A pen light. This is just a little Energizer pen light. The thing's rubbed off. That runs off 2 AAA batteries. And having a pen light is, I believe, is a much better option. I thought I put the battery in the wrong way, but I did not. Because this is simple to carry around. And, yeah. I also bought a bunch of seals. I also bought a bunch of seals for all these engines because I have a tendency to over tighten everything. Basically, this is just like a fisherman's box. It is a spinner bait box by Flam View Outdoors. 00330, that's the number 427536. I will put a link in the description where I forget where I found this, but I'll put a link in the description to like Amazon or wherever I find it. But basically, it's simple. Basically, I have oil in here. I got the steam cylinder oil. I got the turbine oil. I got the cap for the steam cylinder oil. The pressure gauge box right here. I got the pressure gauge right here. I got a couple of the wrenches. Here's a little 5mm needle that I used to use for the turbine oil. Very handy for getting into the tight spaces. I wish this was a blunt tip, but I found it in my grandpa's stash, so basically I've modified this. One right here was for a pipette that's cracked. Here is where I put the needle. Three funnels, one for each engine. I only use just one. I got the spring belt for the 70. I got a bag of spare bulbs for the 70 generator. I got a curved tip syringe, the Jensen oil, and then I got just various plumbing fixtures in here. I'll pull one out actually. Basically, these are adapters. I would have to look through the paperwork. Basically, to go into the whistle hole for air compressor. All it is a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch reducer, then a 1 inch or 1/8 inch 90, and I think this is 1/8 inch to, I forget. Let me just, I got my laptop up. Let me just see what the whistle. 5/16 24 is the tap that this is. This one I've kind of, the whistle on this I've kind of screwed up because I've had the pressure gauge in it. What do you expect? Very handy to have. I have this one with a quick disconnect fitting. Yeah, I'll put basically all the stuff. Basically, since I found Mini Steam, this is my go-to for Jensen stuff, Jensen parts. And I normally just keep that right here, just so it's there. I also got a kilowatt meter. This is the P4400. Just found it at Menards for 20 bucks. Also, I have just, yeah. Also, sorry, I forgot to put the stack on the 70. That's another thing is I had to get a new smokestack because the one that I had, basically this seam right here, basically it got bent and it came apart, and I couldn't get it back together, so I just bought a new smokestack. That was about 10 bucks, which isn't that bad, if you think about it. Basically, I calculated these two engines out. This one says it's supposed to be 400 watts at 3.5 amps. That's not what I found. Both, like, this one is 400 watts. So technically it would be 800 watts, but no. It's 850 watts. So, and that's about 6 amps, according to my meter. But according to this, it's 850. Let me just do a, so 120 volts, 6 amps. Technically, it's only running 720 watts. I think this is somewhat off. That's basically based off the clamp meter and the voltage. This thing's off by quite a bit, about 100 watts. So, to tell you the truth, I just did that calculation. This isn't as accurate as it seems, because basing it off 6 amps off the meter, it's probably a little bit more. It's only running 720 watts, which is, but on here it's at 850. Of course, this little light runs about 0.7 watts. It just has a neon indicator, which is nice. This is what I used at the Steam show. It's just a Ace Hardware 3-way splitter. I forgot how much what it was, but it's only probably under 10 bucks, which is real nice. It's rated up to, I think, 15 amps. Where is it? Here it is. Current taps, 125 volts, 15 amps. That's 1,875 watts, which is pretty good, but it's just 120 volt. So actually, technically, this thing's off by over 120, by like 120 watts. What do you expect for a $20 power meter? But I do have professional equipment, so I can actually find out the true value. Actually, I think it might be able to run off my generator now I think about it, because based it off this, it was 850 watts. 850 watts according to this meter. Yeah. So my guess, running it off my little 2-stroke generator will be alright. But if I want to run an air compressor for, say, my grandpa's model steam engines, then I'm going to need to get a bigger generator. And I'm looking at a Power Horse 4,000 watt, 3,100 continuous generator with electric start. It has like 8 120 volt outlets and one 240 volt, 120, 240 volt outlet, which is nice. Yeah, so the reason why I went with the 1-inch thick poly is, of course, its weight, plus this thing needs a base. Yeah, heck, you saw in the video that I needed a clamp for this and this. Only one problem is if I rotate this, people won't be able to see the boiler. Actually, I would just see the rear end of it. But what I'd love to do one of these days is basically get rid of these boilers, make a steam manifold, basically have these engines mounted by themselves on a different base, of course, and run off a large boiler, an actual boiler, not these. Yeah, that basically is what I want to do. But that one, yeah, I don't think I showed this, but see that little metal flap there? That's basically so that the steam gets shot off that way instead of straight into the firebox. That's the only design flaw I see with the Jensen 60s, that little thing there. As you can see, this thing's been, yeah. I'm kind of curious if the Dawn dish soap trick's gonna work. Yeah, of course that's been probably burned off quite a bit. Heck, I think I burned through like close to 20-30 tablets last August. Yeah, I gotta get my butt moving on these projects for the show. Not to mention I'm helping a friend. Yeah, so yeah. I got so much stuff, it's unbelievable. I think I have close to 10-15 videos just on a piece of paper, just of stuff I want to do. Yeah, and I was talking to my supervisor the other day, asking him about if it could withstand the heat. I think it'll be fine because this is actually off the base, so it has the actual air layer underneath, except it has the conductive heat of the metal plate. But I was talking to, of course, my supervisor. He said for the 5/8 poly, it takes about 12 seconds with a propane burner or propane torch directly on the plastic to have it start on fire. 1/2 inch, it takes no time at all. But the 1 inch, I think there's enough material there that and there's enough heat of a heat sink that it won't be a problem. Yeah, so that's basically what's been up with my steam engines. Basically, I find like I don't recommend. This is what I'm trying is I oil everything when I'm done for the day at the show. I clean it, I oil it, then basically halfway through I put more steam cylinder oil and put a little bit more oil in on the engine, and I think that seems to help. Yeah, what I would love to do is, yeah, this is just speculation, is actually put a displacement lubricator like right here and probably, I don't know where I'd put it on this one, but here I could definitely put a displacement lubricator right here. Right here. That way, it actually automatically lubricates. That's one downfall to these engines, is they actually don't have a displacement lubricator. Of course, they're Hobby Series engines. And the next one I want to get would be the Jensen number 20. I would most likely get the generator version because that would have more power and bigger boiler where it could actually produce more electricity right here and be a little bit better at it. Sorry for the long video, guys. This has been a long time coming. Yeah. I've been meaning to do this. I just haven't sat down and taken care of it. I'm on my new camcorder, so I have my video screen flipped around, which is nice. And it's just a little weird getting used to the controls. Yeah, I'll post this, then I'll post a test video of the power when I get a chance. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking into this long video. I know it's not my usual 10-minute quickie, but to go through basically to go through my model steam engines and talk about it, it needed to be a long video. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.